Well, welcome back. It's Virgo, it's your turn. I'm Dadhichi. This is my crazy, beautiful Scorpio daughter, Aliana Tara. She said, you want to introduce?
Introduce what?
The month of November, horoscopes.
Oh, right.
For those born under the sign of Virgo.
I have no idea what to say.
Okay, then I'll take over. Thank you very much. How are you all? Virgo, it's an important month. I'll tell you why. Because looking at the horoscope, we still have the retrograde movement of Mercury, your ruler, up until the 4th. Thank God you say. It's over. Actually, the retrograde planet for Virgo is very, very empowering. Don't let other people tell you otherwise. She's got retrograde Mercury working on her right now. It also has reference to your 10th house, which is your career house. So Mercury, it's portfolio of communication, thinking, processing your mind. I think it still gives its innate sort of confusion, less so for you and for those born under a good star, in which Mercury, as in your case, it rules you. So it actually empowers you, it gives you strength, gives you intellectual certitude, gives you convincing speech, the ability to sway people. So if you've got to do any sort of selling this month, this is the time to do it. Get out there and use this power to your own advantage, Virgo. Now, I gave you the good news first. Now I'm going to give you a little bit of harsh news. That has to do with the retrograde position of Mars, which is the ruler of your 8th house, shared resources, intimacy, that sort of thing. Now, again, any retrograde planet is empowered. It strengthens its inherent quality. And Mars is an action planet. It's sometimes an argumentative, belligerent planet. And being in your 8th house right now, it can show that the differences of opinion increase, especially where it has to do with things that you share with other people, bills that are paid with others, loans that you've taken out. It has to do with your banking. It's got to do with finance. For those of you, sorry to mention it, if you are supposed recipients of some wills or legacies, superannuation, annuities, 401, as we say in the US. All of these things, banking matters, are associated with this 8th house and the ruler of your 8th house, which is Mars, who happens to be there right now in retrogression. That can really inflame things in that sense. Fortunately, you've got that counterbalance, which is the ruling planet, Mercury, in retrogression, strengthening its power to help you reason through some of these issues. Now, if we look at the transits of the moon, 2, 4, 6, the 8th to the 10th, slightly better opportunities when the moon transits Venus after the 10th, and that's in your second zone of finance. That's exactly where your ruling planet is right now, in the finance sector. So if anything's going to go wrong this month, it has to do with that lingering opposition from Mercury to Mars. We saw that was more focus late in October, but you're still reeling from some of the effects of that, and it has to do with money, income, expenditures, and in particular, as I've just said, the shared resources that you have. So you need to bring your attention to that, resolve any of those matters that have been sort of hanging around like a bad smell, as I call it. Don't sweep that under the rug. After the 14th, Mars moves direct. After the 4th, earlier in the month, your ruling planet moves direct. So I think you'll start to see that by the middle of the month, at least the 3rd week of November, a lot of this stuff can be put to bed and you're ready to move forward. Now, also on the 15th, there is a new moon, and that's taking place in your 3rd sector. 3rd sector is the sector relating to one's mind, one's short travels, your day-to-day affairs. It has to do with your younger siblings. And so this indicates a new approach to the way you're dealing with these specific people in your life. For some of you, you may actually decide, I've had enough of this. Can't take it anymore. Remember that Peter Finch movie? That was funny. No, you might sort of decide to say, screw it, I'm out of here. I'm going to go on a nice, short little trip. I don't know where I'm going. I'm just going. And that's a refresher for your mind. New moon shows a new mental approach to things. Control, Alt, Delete, system reset, restart. And that's quite likely after the 15th. Now, I also want to talk about the other important factor, which is it's a lunar eclipse taking place in your 9th house next to Uranus. It's the very tail end of the month. You'll feel it even maybe a couple of days before. There's some sort of attraction or curiosity, I would say, to do with philosophy or some new course of action associated with your religious or philosophical beliefs. This can also mean unexpectedly meeting someone who shifts your path and gives you some insight into something new and fantastic. So that's something to look forward to, and that will carry over into December, the last month of 2020. For more, stay tuned. Go over to astrology.com.au and you'll be able to find out more based upon your daily readings, your weekly readings, which I'm doing every week now, the monthlies, which we're doing here, but I've got a written monthly there. We produce some nice chronological transits, so you can get it all of this. I jump around a bit, I know. I'm sorry, but I'm just punctuating the month with what I think are some of the most important elements. You can get a more detailed analysis there, and the yearlies, of course, are there. Get a personalised reading if you want. Drop me a line here. I'll show you how to do that. Subscribe, and I'll see you next month. Take care. Bye-bye.